What's going on, y'all? This is Mike Brown, and I want to welcome y'all to this week's episode of The Art of Letting Go. We have a really dope show for you today with none other than the most requested guest of the show, Dr. Byron Young. We talk about a whole lot today. Also, happy Pride. It's Pride Month. You know what you should do for Pride Month? Head over to theartoflettinggopodcast.com and check out some of our Pride merch. We got some t-shirts in there, some stickers, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you. Yo, what up? This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go.
Letting go, letting go. That's the theme song.
You were a little off key, but it's okay.
Ooh. Come on, people showing they get hurtful. Quick. Come out the gate with hurt. Ooh, that's how black people do.
That's funny.
Lord, Jesus.
Man, a year ago, we recorded an episode at Spotify Studios, and now we are back in the studio again, this time doing some independent shit. I was independent as well, but we were invited there, but this time we booking our own shit. But
I ain't paying for it. You
right?
You book.
It's already booked. But you have been on the show about 4 or 5 times.
You never got a residual check.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? What the checks at? Mike, come in.
You're probably one of the most requested guests, especially after the last one we did. So
Was it because I was crying?
Maybe.
Y'all just want to see my black pain? Is that what it is? Is that what you want from me? It's cold out here. It's a cold world. I just be trying to make it.
They want your blues and not your rhythm.
Right. And I can groove, baby. I can groove.
You mind telling the people who you are?
Oh, sure. My name is Dr. Byron Young, or just Byron. I got a lot of nicknames. Let me go through a few of them. Bioy, that's what my grandma used to call me.
Okay.
She also called me Baru. I also was young. I was 008 in high school because I had a big backpack, had a lot of stuff in it. So it's like a 007, but more. 008. My friends call me Young. They call me Be Easy. When I was I did this program. You know, if I start life anew, I could recreate myself. And so I did this summer program in Mobile, Alabama, when I was in college. And I really like the nickname Beans. So I told these people my nickname was Beans, and they stuck with it. So it'd be times where those people would meet somebody from Xavier, and they'd be like, y'all know Beans? And they'd be like, who? Who the hell is Beans? Who just made that shit up? And I did. I made it up. But yeah, my name is Byron, man. I'm a friend of Mike Brown. I am a lover of black people. I get to play a role in the healing of community as a psychiatrist, child, adolescent, and adult. And an emotional wellness program developer and consultant. Getting to do a lot of cool stuff, Mike. I've been having fun. I've been working with big companies and stuff, doing talks and stuff, and also still doing a lot of work in the community with the people at the intersection of mental health, social justice, and art. Having fun with it, man. I'm doing all right.
That's dope, man. How are you feeling today?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. I gotta say, people want controversy. I gotta look at my heart is a little tender, Mike. I feel like, I am starting to think that maybe I am not meant to be in romantic relationships, for real. I'm starting to maybe that's not my bag. Maybe I feel like I have mastery at everything I try to do, which is, a blessing. I got privilege, but I do not have mastery of relationships, romantic relationships. And so I feel like maybe I should just tap out.
Okay, that's interesting. And you know what's funny? This month is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Hey.
And I brought you in because you are a mental health professional, but it's nice to hear. And it's not nice to hear, but it's cool to hear somebody that works in mental health express themselves as having challenges as well.
You want my black pain too, right, Mike?
I don't want your
That's
black
what you
pain.
want? You want my black pain?
I don't want your black pain at all. But I think we all play so many roles that it's because you have this title, you're supposed to be an expert in life, And but I'm curious to know about the relationship thing.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing at any point. So long I spent so much time just running from relationships. I love I was in New York and dating all these really wonderful, brilliant, beautiful women. And I think I have an avoidant attachment style. So when I get close, I'll be like, I don't know if this is what I want, and might ultimately end up kind of running away. And respectfully, I'm not a mean about it or don't just ghost anybody, but yeah, it was just I don't know if this is what I want, and kind of move around. And over time, that accumulates. People get hurt, and so I hurt a lot of really dope women running from them in that regard. And I think it got better, right? I'm in therapy doing my work, and I was able to get in a really serious relationship and did really well. But ultimately, I don't really feel like my heart was still with her, is still with her in some ways. But I ran from the girl I was in a serious relationship with too. So after all this work, this therapy work, finally being able to get in a committed relationship, then I'm better. And then something happened that really pressed on some old stuff, like the loss of my mom and stuff. And then, I ended up running again, kinda. And so I'm like, man, just being hurt. I just don't like hurting folks, and I feel like I'm not good at it. I don't feel like I ever, even when I'm in it, I enjoy it and I love it, and I love my partner and that kind of thing. And even when I'm when I was in New York and kind of dating seriously, but not like it wasn't we'd never. I didn't have an official partner, but had women I dated very seriously. Much love and had a great time and learned so much or whatever, but ultimately I just don't ever feel like I know what I'm doing, and it makes me uncomfortable. And so being in discomfort but also enjoying it is complicated. And then ultimately I just feel like I mess stuff up. And as a person who is so good at so many things, having a part of my life where I feel like I'm not very good, it's like, oh, that's tough. Like I just want to avoid it. And I'm being a little silly, right? I'm not gonna just never, try to love again. But I don't know, man. I need to take a big break. I don't know. But just trying to make it, Mike. How the old people be like, I'm just trying to make it?
Yeah.
I get it.
I'm curious to know, just because I personally know you, do you ever take time to not date? And I ask that because in my time of knowing you, it seemed like...
Hold up, Mike. Don't be telling my business.
Well, no, I ain't going to tell all your business. I ain't going to tell all your business.
Don't be telling my business, Mike.
But in your day, you were a serial dater. I think I seen you on 2 dates in one day.
Yeah. That's not a lie.
Post your previous relationship, have you taken time to just be for a minute and not focus on dating or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't know. You never know how long is long enough. I definitely took time for sure, because just to be with myself. And I like being single, let me say that. Even when I got in a relationship, I didn't feel like I had an orientation ever towards relationships. I just had an orientation towards that person. Yeah. Does that make sense? And I'm hopeful that will happen again, right? I'll get an orientation towards that person again. Or that person, not necessarily that person, but somebody that I'll have an orientation towards a person, not an orientation towards relationship. I don't think that's ever going to be me, Mr. I want to and need to be in a relationship. And so I enjoy being single. And so I think that makes the avoidant thing even more dangerous, because I don't feel like a longing for it in the same way. So in the longing that I felt was a longing for her, not a longing for I miss these parts of relationships or whatever. Because again, it always kind of made me uncomfortable. So so I did take time just to be with myself. And then I got back out into the dating world a bit. And I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't necessarily have the same enjoyment for dating that I had before. When I was in New York, I loved going on dates because I'm an extrovert. I'm nosy, and I just really like it. But the dating scene here has been different, and I think it was a little bit of elitism. In New York, I was dating all these girls from Harvard, and they were all lawyers and doctors and all that stuff. And in LA, it's not necessarily the same group of women, right? And I don't want to ever be demeaning to someone if you're not a doctor or a lawyer, that's not good enough for me. That's definitely not the thing. I just think I got used to a particular type of woman. In a particular type of discussion and that kind of thing, and maybe if it didn't hit in that way, I wasn't having as much fun as I would have or remember having. And there definitely been some wonderful women I've been on dates with here too. I just don't know. I don't know what I want. Maybe I think I need more of a break. I think maybe I got in it thinking I was ready, and maybe I'm not. But I don't feel I don't know. And if I'm being honest, I still, a big part of my heart's still with the young lady I left. So,
and even with her, do you feel like you've taken a real break from her? Because it seemed like...
Ooh, you getting in my business, Mike.
I know, but you nosy too. Go ahead. But you, it seems like you were very quick to want to transition to friendship, and do you feel like you gave that time to just breathe and
Again, I don't know how much is enough time. So initially I think so, just out of necessity, because there was that. And then after that, I think I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know if that's what's the right answer. I think so, but maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, and definitely I feel like because I was hurtful to this person I care about, I want to like make that right and still have feelings for her, if I'm being honest. So it's complicated. It's a very complicated situation. But I tell you what's not complicated, the notion of like a continuous history of feeling like I'm like just messing shit up.
Yeah.
Right? And there's some women, and I won't say no names, but there's some women like from my past who don't even talk to me no more. And I'm like, what? Me? I'm the nicest guy I know. Now, I'm just a little silly, but like, damn, like, I don't think I ever thought of myself as a guy who's out here just, can I curse?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm being treated a little bit like I'm a fuckboy, and I had to like look at my shit like maybe I have been a little fuckboy light.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say full fuckboy, but fuckboy light.
Fuckboy adjacent.
Fuckboy adjacent. Fuckboy zero.
Okay.
Fuckboy with no sugar.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's two women that I really care about who literally don't want to talk to me, and I like never thought that I would be that guy. I'm like, what? And I think part of it is a hurt of like, the kind of. Wasn't taking it as seriously with them. And then all of a sudden now I'm in LA, I took it serious with somebody else. I think it was some of that. But also, some maybe mixed signals and shit. I don't know. I definitely played, I'm not going to be like, I didn't play no role in it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, damn, this is crazy. Like, I feel like I don't want to touch nothing because I'm breaking everything. So I'm just stop touching shit. Like, get out the store. Like, and so maybe to your point, and our homegirl Z was saying too, like, maybe we just need to like, don't do nothing.
Yeah. And I think, using your store analogy, maybe going in the store and just looking at shit and not just swinging your arms all around the store, because as a friend, I don't see how somebody cannot talk to you, but then at the same time, I don't fully know who you are as a partner.
Facts. Definitely different people.
Yeah, and it could be a lot of things, because I think of just where we come from and how men are with women. Maybe that has some subconscious influence on, just the game of it all,
For sure. Yeah, man, I'm from Walkertown, man. This is the home of pimps and players. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not no pimp or no player. I'm clearly a nerd. But some of that stuff definitely influenced me. I think the ideas, even that stuff about avoid, like, I've been reading the book Attached. Have you ever read that book?
No, but I've heard of it, yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely have, at least historically, I've been in therapy doing good work, so I think I'm progressing. But historically, definitely had avoidant attachment style. And some of that shit very much aligns with the ways that men talked about women in my community. And I was a kid who was like, that's not right, you should do better. But you still sometimes, if that's what looks cool and it's all around you, then you might internalize that shit looks cool. And so some of the stuff about like just not caring, like I think women have told me historically, again, distant past, but women have told me like they don't know that I actually care about them, or that they like, I like care if I see them, or care. Like I just give a kind of I don't give a fuck kind of attitude sometimes in terms of my romantic relationships. Like I could take you or leave you. Like if you weren't here, I just go find something else to do kind of vibe. And I think there is something about that I think I connect with from my community. Like some of that shit's cool. Like a brother, like you can't hurt me. I'm like, whatever. Like if you don't, you don't want to connect, I'm just gonna connect with somebody else.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like I've heard you express that before. And is that and like I said, just because I know you, is that a way of protecting yourself just because of your experiences,
100%. The attached book is really great because it talks about how all these attachment styles that aren't what's the like kind of proper type of attachment style. There's an anxious attachment, there's avoidant attachment. Those two attachment styles are both rooted in kind of anxiety. And yeah, avoidant is just defensive. So it's like, okay, I'm out of this relationship, on to the next. Like, but you unconsciously you care and you're anxious and you're trying to protect yourself, even though consciously you're like, actually whatever, like I'm just whatever next, kind of thing. And so yeah, that stuff is problematic for sure. And again, I think I've done a lot of good therapy work. Shout out to therapy and shout out to my therapist.
Yeah.
And have progressed. And the notion of being able to be in a 2-year relationship was, I'm not even kidding, Mike. I'm about to cry again. At some point when I was in therapy and I was thinking about it, like the women that I was running from back in New York, I really love these women. You know what I'm saying? Really amazing women. Some, again, whom you know. And so I didn't think I was ever going to be able to be in a serious relationship. I thought I was just going to be like, I used to tell my niece I'm going to be a rich, eccentric uncle, like a weird, just go travel the world and stuff. Yeah. Maybe, have lady friends, just in different places. So, tap in on occasion.
Yeah.
Just be like, I just didn't know that I was even capable of doing it. And so when I found this person in LA that I was able to connect with so deeply and so beautifully, I was shocked. And again, I felt like it was an orientation towards her. It definitely was an orientation towards, I just want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was very proud of it. And so, yeah, I think in some ways it's like, oh man, like ultimately, I mean, 2 years is a long time, so I think I did what I could prove to myself that I needed to do the thing, and I'm so proud of who it was with and and that kind of thing. But ultimately, I'm disappointed too, because I'm like, I did kind of the same thing, kind of. I'm like, ugh. So I don't know.
And
but
I think you should also give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot of progression to go from where you was at to being able to spend 2 years with somebody and really focus on that person.
And grew so much, learned so much. I tell you, I'm not even kidding, talking about not thinking I would ever be in a real relationship. I didn't see the positive. I was like, I'm having fun single and like just dating. So like, why would I ever do that? Like, it just looked like stress. You know, seeing my friends, yourself included, people in relationships. Yeah, yourself
Don't
included.
get my business.
Yeah. See, sometimes your relationships look shitty. And I didn't want to be, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't always look shitty, right? But like, I was like, is it worth looking shitty when it does look shitty? I don't know. And so I learned that, wow, I get it. Like, I get why people want to be in relationships. Now, I still like singleness and fun now. I do have a lot of fun.
And I think your past relationship was a teacher for me of like, it doesn't have to always be so like, you know, just some conflict always going on. It doesn't have to always look crazy. Like, it can be fun. It can be connected, and it can be challenges, and you can work through those.
Yeah. I think, like what I always said, if I had a relationship, it would be like a homie, lover, friend, and I really do feel like she became my best friend in many ways, and so I'm like very proud of that, and proud of her growth too and her learning. Yeah, it's dope.
So, because I know you mentioned like there are parts of you that still will want to reconnect. Even if that didn't happen, would you feel as though that you were successful in this relationship?
The only way I've been thinking about this a lot. The only way I would feel successful is if I if I feel like I did right by her in terms of like nurturing the and it's not my place to have her forgive me, right? She may never forgive me for breaking up with her or whatever. But like, if I like did the best I could to let her know that I wasn't trying to be hurtful, and that was kind of some stuff I was going through, kind of like the things that went on, like, touched on stuff with my mom and stuff, and that was a thing. And so if I could do that and be as like kind of nurturing towards helping her heal too, then I'd be like, if I did all I could to do that, then I think I would be okay. Because I feel, I guess, in some ways some guilt, like this person that I love, that I feel like I ran from wasn't even on some like her stuff, really, it was on some me stuff. So yeah, but let me say, regardless of what happens, even if she never forgives me or whatever, I'm still, definitely, I think I'm pretty good at giving myself grace, but I would like to do that.
Yeah. And at what point do you forgive yourself? Because and I ask that because, like, yes, you want to help her heal, but is that truly your job to do?
It's not my job. It's not my job. It's just something I want to do, but it's not my job. No. And if I talk about being like just feeling like I'm messing up, in some ways I think my process is actually sometimes doing more harm than good, if I'm being honest. So that's the thing. But yes, healing myself. Yes. And again, I'm in my therapy. I'm still working on that stuff, and so I'm definitely focused on that. I'm working on it. I'm thinking through it, and again, I'm definitely giving myself grace. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, this notion, because it's something I talk about that people need to do for themselves so much. And it's something I think I do. I think in some ways I give myself too much grace, if I'm being honest, but it is important to hold on to, and it's nice to have it reflected back to you. But yeah, I really, when I be like, I'll tease and say I'm just trying to make it, I really do, am just doing the best I can and still having the kind of responsibility to do better, right? Yeah. You can do better. So a lot of things I need to do better, Mike. I need to work on some stuff. But I appreciate you. I appreciate this conversation.
Of course.
Even though you put all my business out there.
No. Look, at first I was gonna say this could be a Patreon exclusive, but
nah, it's cool. Nah, it's fine.
She subscribed to the Patreon.
Nah, that's funny. That's very funny. And just the women. Let me take out this is amazing. I get this opportunity. Let me apologize to every woman that I have ever hurt, that I've ever done this, like, I really like you, and then I'm like, I'm not sure, and then I run away. I'm so sorry. Is this the camera? I'm so sorry. I'm working on myself. Know that there was nothing about you. You were not. I don't. Because I don't want people to ever feel devalued. Like, for me, I feel like I'm a nerdy kid from, what I'm saying? Like, you spent time and energy and effort for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Gave me some sugar. You know what I'm saying? Me. Yeah. So I'm super appreciative. It wasn't no like personal stuff. But yeah, I mean, I just, particularly the women not talking to me thing has made me reflect on, what is my level of destructiveness? And destructiveness sounds aggressive, but I've heard, and it hurt like nothing crazy, but it hurt some folks, and like, I'm really big on like, and in some ways that's the problem, right? I'm really good at making people feel good and making them feel valued and making them feel loved, and then when you do that, and then you like, all right, bye. Ooh.
Yeah, and is this the only space that you feel like you like that in?
No,
because I don't feel like you like. I mean, like I said, from my perspective, it don't seem like you like that in friendships.
Oh, in friendships, I don't run though. Right, in friendships, I give all that good stuff that makes you want to be around me, but I don't run because the responsibility just feels different. I feel like, and this is why I say like relationships feel so high stakes, and so friendships don't feel high stakes; they feel easy. So, like for instance, I reflect my love at my friends in the same way, my family the same way I reflect it at like a love interest. But the thing with the love interest is like, if something happens and I'm like, oh, this is too close, I gotta get up out of here. Whereas friends and family, you like hold together.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think I do the same thing because that's just me. But I think the thing is like, imagine if I was just like, all right, Mike, I don't want to be a friend no more. Bye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be like, what happened? What? I thought we just played basketball the other day. Yeah, man, the mind is a crazy thing, man. It could change on a dime. I was telling my therapist about how quickly, like, I would go from like being really, really into a young lady to being like, never mind. Like, yeah, like this is what? Like what? And it's just like, it's a thing. Like, y'all got to read this attached book. But the notion of like, the closer you get, at some point you cross a threshold of like, ooh, this is too close. This is too vulnerable. It's too dangerous. And you get scared of the possibilities. Like, what if I get close to this person and they die? What if I get close to this person and something bad happens? What if I just rather be by myself. Bye, run. And, yeah, man, I just apologies to so many. And again, like, New York is a place where dating is like, people date, and I'm an extrovert, so I was dating a lot. You're right. I definitely I've been on 3 dates in one day, if I'm being honest. But not on some like, oh, look at me stuff. Right, but yeah, just like, sure. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy getting to know people. But you have a responsibility when you're tapping into that romantic thing. And I'd like to say, I was talking to this with our boy Liam the other night, like, a first date shouldn't feel like it's all that, but even still, like, if you don't know where people are coming from, like this might be the nicest first date they had in a long time, and so it might mean a lot. So yeah, you gotta take that a sense of responsibility with how you handle people's hearts. Yeah. And so yeah, I think I've been a little sloppy with it historically, and again, doing better. Therapy has helped, but still got to figure some stuff out.
How do you? Because I'm thinking back to what you were saying about the homie, lover, and friend. Mm-hmm. How do you start? Because I mean, in my own relationship, I feel like I really wanted friendship to be the foundation of it all. And it's like, how do you maintain that once it becomes more romantic?
Yeah, man, I think the friendship thing is the foundation, takes the pressure off. It kind of makes it less high stakes because this is my friend over everything. So even when something romantic, like, sometimes like attraction may shift or stuff like that might happen, or, you might just be a little annoyed with them or whatever. But when it's your like homie, lover, friend, it's like, it doesn't hit the same. So it's not like if it's a girl I just find attractive and like in a romantic sense and those things happen, I might be more likely to be like, I'm not really feeling this. But if it's my homie, lover, friend, and we built that bond, like, this is my girl. Like, I ain't going nowhere. Like, what? Like, yeah. So it's like, it's something about the kind of synergy of the friendship and the romance that just makes your relationship more resilient and makes it more easy, and like all those like in things we internalize about what we need in a relationship. Like, I need the best this ever, and she gotta have the best that and all that. You like, that's not true. Like, what? Like, she dope and she mine, and that's enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and it makes you be able to humanize her more. Because I think we dehumanize sometimes when we're in relationships. It allows you to be able to humanize that person more. And like be able to see their flaws, be able to see their insecurities and hold it in a way that's like more humanizing and giving them grace. Yeah. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Let's talk about you and your stuff. Let's put your business out. Mike, what you doing? Who you dating? What's going on with you? I put my business out there today, Mike. I'm gonna talk to you after we cut the tape. Lord, all my little business.
You started with all of it though.
It's been on my heart, Mike.
How you was doing?
I came to church today. Lord, I got a testimony.
I asked you how you was feeling, and you unloaded.
Yeah, man. I got a lot on me, Mike. I got a lot on me. I've been listening. This is funny. There's a beautiful gospel song called Deliver Me that Jamie Foxx, everybody out there, just YouTube Jamie Foxx Deliver Me. And man, I'll be playing that song on repeat, man. It's like, the song basically goes, Well, I'm trying to think of how it goes. It's like, deliver me, Lord, deliver me. I don't remember the lyrics, but somehow it's saying like, Lord, please deliver me from myself. I be messing shit up myself. Like I'm hurting myself. Like, Lord, help me, deliver me from that. And he sings, I love a run. He sings it so beautifully. If I had a better voice, I was thinking, like, man, go YouTube that, man. Jamie killing that. I hope he all right. Shout out to Jamie Foxx, man.
Yeah, shout out Jamie
Most
Foxx.
talented man in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, man. For me, like, I'm still in that phase of like I'm dating somebody but still getting to know them. And I feel like the getting to know is a continuous, and it should be, because we always are evolving, myself, included. And I really like the foundation. I don't think I've ever started a relationship with somebody being their friends. I think I just jump straight in on the romantic and then try to build a friendship. And it's like, oh, I really don't have much in common with this person, so it's cool to do it in a different way this time. And I think I've mentioned this before, but for me, I've always, even in friendships, I've always seen people's potential. So I've always like been attracted to like who I see this person to become, and not really accepting like this is where you at today, and do I accept this version of you? So to be in a situation where it's like I really accept who he is today, and I know that there's more to come for him, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, I've been very blessed to be around you guys, and I say I love your love. You guys do you guys come off as best friends. That's how you come off, and I really enjoy being in space with y'all. And you look so comfortable, which is like sometimes I remember in other relationships you have been in, like you always have a questioning, like this one thing, like it'd be like a clear red flag, and you'd be like, is this a red flag? Like nigga, that flag red as hell. That shit on fire. But,
that shit perfect. Yeah. Emotional.
Oh no, but yeah, like in this you seem so confidently comfortable, and y'all have a true friendship. And he's such a sweet, kind man. I'm really. Yeah, I love your love, man.
I appreciate that.
Shout out to Cupcakes.
That's hilarious. So we'll transition out of relationships because I think we've given enough.
Ooh, I'm a business out there, Mike. It's fine. I need to release it. I mean, I always talk about how like one of the reasons that people feel so heavy in this life is that we have so many secrets and so many lies and so much guilt and shame or whatever. Man, I just let that shit go. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a human.
And you know what? That is something that we talk about on a regular basis because in our journeys, we've had to feel shame, lie, or whatever to essentially protect ourselves. And this is one time in my life where I'm like, I don't want to feel that no more. And in practicing that, it's like yoga. You do something in one space, it shows up in all the others.
Yep.
And practicing this in other spaces, it's making me more uncomfortable than it's making other people because now I can't lie to my friends. I can't lie to my family. I can't sugarcoat shit for nobody. Like I have to be I feel like an old person right now.
Yeah.
I feel like my grandmother.
Wisdom.
I just don't
That's
hold
wisdom.
back. Yeah. And even like, in dating, like being so honest about, one thing that I had to be honest about was, hey, sometimes like I would get on an app just because I would just do it. And it's been so habit for me.
Yep.
Like not even looking for nothing, just to get on it. And having to express that to somebody because like, hey, this is something that's uncomfortable for me. And rather than have to fight through this discomfort on my own, I got to share this with somebody.
Yeah.
And having the space to share that is like, oh, wow, this is different.
It releases some of that. People always talk about like, oh, when I was a child, things were simpler. But a lot of that stuff we internalize as adults is bullshit. Like, like kids just don't care. Like you shouldn't care. And I think as you get older, you learn that shit's not important. Like you see how old people don't give a damn about much. Because they recognize it's not a big deal. Yeah. Nothing's a big deal. We make everything a big deal. And we just like sometimes create our own anxiety around it. We were teasing about this recently. We got a homeboy who we thought didn't show his legs enough. We were like, he hiding his legs. I was like, put your legs out. And then he showed his legs. My boy got nice legs. Put your legs out. We thought he was hiding his legs. Like, don't be ashamed of your legs, brother.
Oh, shit.
And then, you come out of the dark and like, look, you got nice legs. Come on.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I'm not gonna say the names. That's so
funny. Oh shit! But yeah, man.
It's James Woods, aka that yoga dude, with Feel Free to Feel Free. It's just numbers. It's just an opinion. It's just a decision. It's just a reaction. Whatever your vision is, whatever you want for yourself is the truth. See your vision becoming real. See your truth becoming real. See yourself becoming free. Don't get distracted. Stay focused, calm, and relaxed. Everything you was bold enough to ask for and calm enough to stay true to is here. You got it. You deserve it. It's yours. All you have to do is take a breath. Enjoy what's yours and feel free to feel free. Namaste. Peace.
Life, for me in general, feels like it's in a different space. Like since this year started, I felt like I've been in transition, and it's been a little uncomfortable, but at the same time, just knowing where I'm going, I've had to shed as much as possible to keep going. And the journey used to feel lonely because my whole life has been like that. And to have somebody that's like, yeah, I'm there too.
Yeah, word.
You know, like to not be on it alone, it feels nice.
Man, I tell you, I know when you quit your job, I was like, you sure, Mike? You sure? You sure you want to quit your job? You sure? I ask you sure every time I see you. You don't want to do a part-time? You don't want to do a little part-time or something? So, yeah, man, you are definitely shedding and leaning on faith. And, yeah, man, it's inspiring as hell. I don't know if it could be me, but I'm very... Like, you seem like you know what you're doing, man, and you believe in yourself. And I remember it's funny when you first talking about quitting and all that stuff, and then all them crazy opportunities started rolling in, like the Spotify stuff and all that. I'm like, damn, all right. Yeah, you spoken to existence.
You know,
keep
crazy?
going.
It's a year later, and I'm in that place again, but at a different level. And it's funny because, like, Saturday, either Friday or Saturday, I've never identified with feeling lost. And I said it out loud. I was like, damn, I feel lost right now.
Shit.
And I asked myself, well, what the fuck does that mean to feel lost? And it wasn't that I felt lost. I just was in the unknown. Like this, at this age and at this stage, this is the deepest in the unknown I've ever been.
Wow.
And when I really, truly accepted, like, I've been doing this forever, you know? And it may feel a little harder because I'm getting older, but this is essentially what my spirit is telling me to follow. And man, when I accepted that shit, I'm telling you, within days, shit started turning around.
Wow.
Some opportunities started coming up, and it's like, damn, this shit happened. Like it happens every time. Every time I jump, I fly.
You have faith.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you lean on.
And you know, like I said, I've never doubted myself. I've definitely had fear in my journey, but I've never doubted myself. I've never felt like I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and just like I said, in this stage of, okay, I've been off a job for a year. Now life is telling me, hey, you need to go on to do some bigger things. You know, like every dream that you wanted, you've been accomplishing. Now it's time to dream bigger, you know, and not even dream bigger, but live bigger. You know, I'm really starting to disconnect from the idea of chasing a dream or living a dream, because I want to live my reality. I don't want to live no bullshit. And I really do believe that my reality can be whatever the fuck I want it to be. And and I don't see too many people in my life doing it this way. You know what I mean? Especially in the art creative space. I don't know people that do this.
Yeah, man. I tell you, I'm risk averse. So like, you are like a hero in many regards, because I see somebody doing something I don't know that I could do, and yeah, man, it's really impressive to see it continue to work out. You know what I'm saying? You eating, you got the lights on, you got you got gas in your car, and yeah, man. Again, I was like, man, you gonna quit that job? Like, man, it's a blessing, and it's a testimony, and it's cool that you have this platform to be able to be inspirational. I know people always talk about how inspirational your platform is. And yeah, man, it's a blessing, man. And I think, to your point, it's not conventional. Yeah. And I think so much of our existence in this society is bullshit. Is we have to do so much unlearning, and maybe that's some unlearning we could all benefit from. Is the notion of like, if you don't do it the normal way, then it's a bad idea. But like, maybe the normal way is the bad idea, because that's the one that's got everybody stressed out and in debt. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe maybe unconventional should be the new convention in terms of like, Yeah, because this primary thing, most people I know ain't happy in their jobs, right? But they still keep them because they just feel like that's what they got to do. Most people I know aren't really out here like living the kind of way they would like to be living, right? They like kind of a means to an end to just get by. A lot of folks, or folks do the other thing where they're like, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I do this and when I accomplish this and when I get to that thing and then I'll be happy, right? And it just keeps on moving, man. That's just not how happiness works. So, yeah, man, I'm proud of you, man. And I think,
appreciate
you're very inspirational, man. Keep going. Keep going.
I appreciate that. And, you know, it's funny. I feel like I've always been 1 foot in, 1 foot out with everything I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably the hardest that I've gone in my life, like really giving 100% to it. And not that I need validation from anybody, but it's dope to see my family tapped into what I'm doing. Because a lot of times, you know, you could be doing shit and your family could be like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but that's cool that you're doing it. And now I see like my family tuning in.
Yeah,
you know, I started a radio show, my dad listening every week. I did a thing with Glad. My aunt hit me like, man, like you was asking these great questions and I never really listened to your stuff, but I'm seeing, and it's like, man, like, not that I need that, but it feels good to have it.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking this morning, just in reference to family, I hear so much of people talk about how their families fucked them up and shit. And I think in this next phase of everything I'm doing, I really want to give my family like the highest of honors for really making me who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I think a lot of us should do it because it's like, everybody family fuck them up to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
But they also put a lot of good shit in us as well. At least for me, you know, I'm blessed to say that I do have that, and my family love me, they support me, and this has been my whole entire journey, you know. And I really feel that that's a space like as I'm maturing and getting older, because I think for so long I've been chasing my dreams that I probably wasn't putting enough time and effort into connecting with family as I should. And that's not because I do connect to my family, but really taking that time to really connect with them, connecting with them more than mommy, daddy, auntie, like really connecting to that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it feels good to be in that place right now.
Yeah, man, you are a true artist, right? You are a gifted artist, what do they call it, a polymath? You got a multi-hyphenate, right? And so when you are nurtured, right? When you are well nurtured in your relationships, when you're well nurtured in all your relationships, family, friends, loved ones, you will be able to be your best artistic self, right? Your creativity will be, your confidence will be. And so I think the important part of connecting with family and healing some of them old wounds is because that helps you be the best version of yourself. Because it takes a lot of mental energy to have all that pain weighing down on you. And it takes mental energy that you could be putting into like making amazing podcasts or making amazing content or doing graphic design, right? Like I think it's so important to do that because the healing is needed to get there. And I think it helps you tap into like your confidence. It helps you tap into your esteem, and all those things just make you a better creative, make you a better artist, make you a better. Man. And then you do what you do, which is then leveraging that gift and then helping other people heal.
I absolutely love being in spaces where it's like my whole family, where it's like a party or something like that, because I see so many different versions of me. You know what I mean? Like I see everybody with a big personality. It's like, oh, that's why I am how I am, because everybody is like this. And I've gained so many tools in my journey that I'm able to take all those tools and make a Mike Brown. But like, you know, it used to be this Andre 3000 line. I forgot what song it was, but he was talking about his parents and he was like, the best they could have done was the worst they could have done. But at the same time, like me looking at it, it's like they didn't have the tools that I have. So I have to give them grace.
Doing the best they could.
Yeah. And even in giving my family grace has taught me how to give myself grace.
100%. 100%. And I think it actually works the opposite, Mike. I did a talk yesterday for Afro.
You're absolutely right.
When you can love yourself well, right? Your self-love game is positive, and when your self-compassion game is positive, it'll show out. You'll be able to leverage that with how you love others, how you give compassion to others. And so maybe that is what's happening, Mike. Maybe
I think you
are loving yourself more, and that's why your relationship with your family is transitioning.
Man.
Huh?
Can
I get an amen, Mike?
Amen.
Can I get a Shekinah glory? Shando. Can I get a shando?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And, you know, in loving myself, it has been making some of my connections to people maybe I don't know if I want to say challenging, but it's been making my love feel like I need to take a step back.
Yeah. What is love with that's not transformative?
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I'm reading what's her name? Octavia Butler book, Parable of the Sower, and one of the characters talks about her like reflections on God, and she said God is change is God, and if you in the biblical tension, God is love, and so maybe love is change. And if you didn't love yourself as well as you should have, and now you do, that's gonna take a transition. And so just like you sloughing off all this other stuff, like quit the job and all that stuff, some people gonna gotta get it sloughed off too, or at least distanced. Right? I can love you from a distance.
Of course, that's okay. And I was literally just telling somebody today that me taking a step back sometimes is love, because if me being around you is not making me feel good or not making you feel good, maybe the true love is to take a break from
Hell yeah. It might be fighting. So you might mess around and bat the piss out somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's for their benefit. Ooh, Mike used to tussle. Now you want to put the business out there. Mike used to be out here fighting. Huh? Tussling. Yeah. We're going to put the business out now. Let's run and tell that, Mike. Run and tell that. Watch how you do out here tussling.
That
Mike bat the piss out somebody. It's like, goddamn, Mike, you could have. So yeah, I think it is loving to take some space before you bet the piss out of them.
That's real.
That's a prison.
That's silly. Man, I had some listener questions, and one of them came from Brother Empath, and he asked,
Wise brother doing amazing things down there, in the South, man.
Really
amazing legislation,
and also guest of the show.
Yeah,
on the show. Yeah. We had an amazing episode, and he asked, how do we stay consistent in our passions while maintaining our mental health? I'll let you start it out.
Because how do we stay consistent in our passions?
How do you stay consistent in the things that you work on while maintaining your mental health?
Yeah, I think that in order for me to be aware that the thing I'm doing is a part of my passion, I think I have to be in a good space. So like if I'm not in a good space, I don't even think I have a passion, if that makes sense. So for me, like I'm very much like, I'm very much coping skills as a lifestyle. I'm very much like, preventive. Like I'm trying to do stuff every day to keep myself in a good space instead of working like, oh, now I'm in a bad space, let me work to get out of it. So yeah, man, I'm always intentional about running on the beach, going bike riding, connecting with my friends, and I have amazing people around me. That's just a blessing. And getting loved on, I call it, you know what I'm saying? Intentional about, my meditation practice, although I need to do better, my yoga practice. Intentional about, I think one of the ways, like my litmus test is like, am I still being kind? Am I still being loving? Yeah. If I'm faltering in that, if I'm being mean, and I can be mean sometimes, that something ain't right. Something going on. So like making sure I'm checking in with myself, and I'm being around good people who gonna call me out, right? You're one of those people who definitely calls me out and challenges me in front of the world on this podcast in some ways. But I need that. I need people to check me, sometimes. And I think I have really amazing friends that do. It's funny in this whole relationship thing, man. I've had every friend I have almost in my family too has been so helpful, and so even if their advice was weird, those people cared and people give a damn. And so I think being around people who care about you is one of those, is like a very big part of my self-care, is making sure I put myself around spaces and places and people that are nurturing. And so, when I can do that, then I have my cup is full, right? My love cup is full, and I can pour from that cup. You know what I'm saying? I can do my mental health work. I can do my community work. I can do, I can connect with patients because I'm doing my work too. Like I got a good therapist and doing that work. And so making sure that my stuff doesn't become my patient's stuff, because they don't deserve that, right? So I'm taking care of my stuff, and I can make it about them and not about me. So yeah, man, a lot of things, man. I love to travel. I love to nurture, and also I think I get to do is working at the intersection of my passions, working at the intersection of things I love. So I do a lot of stuff at the intersection of mental health, social justice, and art. And those are three spaces I care about. I love Black people, man. And I'm out here. I'm going to do everything I can to defend them. And as a doctor, as a medical doctor, medicine has not been kind to our folks or whatever. So I got to fight for our people, not just shoring up our people, not just like educating our people on how to navigate this system that has all the isms, all the racism, sexism, homophobia, but also talking to the system and be like, yo, y'all got to do better, right? Like this, we got to do better. And so in that work, in that social justice work, in that like kind of doctor as social justice person role, I get to feel good about what I'm doing, and I feel like I could do it better. It's like important is my point. So because it's so important, it reminds me I have to take care of myself in order to do it well.
I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. Like for me, especially just being an artist, like so much of my work is tied into what I'm emotionally feeling, that I gotta take care of myself. Because when I don't, it shows in my work. Either I'm not creating, or something is going on with me, and I try to stick to a morning routine, like something that I know this is gonna make me feel good regardless, and I feel a difference when I don't stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
And something else that I do is rest.
Yeah.
Like I said, because so much of my work is emotional, like when it gets overwhelming, I'll take a pause. I'll take a break.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I've been doing like the last month or so, is like I'm feeling a lot right now. I'm all over. Let me get myself together. Like, this is gonna be here regardless, but I gotta take care of me in order to do this in the best way. I had somebody tell me that I sounded bored on my last episode. And I have been feeling bored.
Oh, wow.
Because I've been doing it the same way for so long. That's why I'm in the studio.
Is that why today you chose to try to really put people's business out? Now you're airing people's business? Is that why
I don't tell my own business no more, so I'm going to tell yours. Like that Wendy Williams.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, like, really just taking care of myself is how I'm able to stay consistent.
Yeah.
And just planning. I plan a lot, because there are those moments where, you may not be feeling the best, but if you've already planned ahead, already created all of this, then I could take a break to focus on this. So it's a balance.
Can I ask you a question? This is something I talk to my patients a lot about. I work with teens mostly, and I talk about how you should constantly be living your life looking for new coping skills, looking for new things you enjoy, like building a repertoire. How does because like I know you said you've grown a lot in many ways. If you could look at the positive things that you were doing to take care of yourself when you were like Xavier, for instance, and now the positive things that you do to take care of yourself as this person now, what's new? Like, what have you added? Have you added anything new to your repertoire?
I think it's always shifting. I think as I mature, I find new things. And it's funny because I told myself in June, it feels like it's time to find something new. When I was at school, in college, basketball made me feel good. Making music made me feel good.
Yeah.
Being around my friends. And now looking at today, like I told you, I haven't played basketball like all year, but
hot take, he wasn't that good. hot take. Nah, he was good.
But and for a long time I took a break from making music, but I've been making music again in the past couple of months, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Talking to people, reading. I started my own book club, and mind you, I'm not a reader at all, but having this book club to meet up with every week, that makes me feel good. Going to the beach. I didn't have a beach when I lived in New Orleans. Got a clean one.
Yeah.
But it always shifts and it always evolves, and I'm always looking for something new to learn or something to try. So, there was one point where I was doing Tai Chi,
I didn't even know that.
At one point I was taking salsa classes. I was doing salsa bachata. I'm just always looking to, it's funny, I'm always looking for the same feeling.
Mike, it's bachata. Let me just shout out, black people love to put that R in there. Bachata.
I thought it was an R in there.
It's bachata, right? Black people, Latoya, Tanisha, black people love to put that R. They don't got that R. It's bachata, Mike. It's fine. Continue. I'm so sorry.
Bachata.
Latoya.
That's hilarious.
Black people love that R. Well, I tell you.
But I wanna focus on like doing pottery. When I was tie-dyeing the socks, that's something that makes me feel good.
They dope too.
Creating in any, and they'll also be available on the website. So tie-dye socks.
Get your money.
Right. But just finding different ways to find what makes me feel good. And I don't feel like I'm searching for a feeling. I know the outcome of it, but it's just like, how do I create that same feeling in a different way?
I think that's so rare, Mike. I think so many people just do the few things that they like, and that's it. And then they like tap out of it, but that's all they know, so they just keep doing it. And then you just end up being the cat who just, all I do for pleasure is go to the bar and, maybe listen to music. Like the notion that you have such a vast repertoire of things and the ability, you talked about this a lot, it sometimes takes the ability to evolve and be comfortable with evolution. Yeah. And so, as you evolve, you should be getting new coping skills and new things you like and new things you enjoy. And as you evolve, maybe some people do need to go and new people need to come in. And so I think evolution is like part of like the beauty of life. And I think this society doesn't nurture evolution. It's just like, what can you produce and what can you do for me and how can you feel good? And that's it. And like quick, not like a real lasting thing that will help you kind of get enlightenment and growth and inner joy for real and hold on to it.
As opposed to evolution isn't easy. And,
that's fair.
And nobody really teaches it because once everybody, it's funny when people get in their 30s. 30s is when you start to get settled in your ways. Either you getting settled or you opening up your world or whatever. And I think for me, I don't want to be one of those people that's just stuck at 36. You know what I mean? I don't want to get stuck in no age. I want to keep growing as I get older. And I think I see so much of it that it does scare me. But going back to evolution, because nobody's ever taught me about it and I'm always doing it, it hurts. Like they talk about growing pains.
Yeah,
I feel them. And it's crazy because I always feel when it's coming. And this is, like I said, this time in my life is the first time I'm embracing it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'm holding on till I can't hold on no more. And then it's like, it's done, nigga. You know, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I'm giving in to the inevitable, and it feels good. It feels good. Like I feel mentally in a great space. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck is going on next, but at the same time, I know I'm taking a break at 200 episodes.
Okay.
I want to take some time to really focus on what else feels good. You know, I've never, like I said, with this podcast, I've given it everything that I possibly could. It feels good to like say at 200, I'm a pause.
Yeah.
I don't know if I gave everything I could to music, but I feel in a place of that yoga mat. I figured out what it was like to give everything to something without being afraid of it and really doing it for yourself. Let me try it in this space now. Let me go back and revisit this space and see what it's like.
Yeah. Leverage what you learned and bring it to this new thing. Leverage the kind of feel. Yeah. Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah. I think that is good living. Can you, in every experience you have, absorb it, let it nurture you, and then use it in the next experience? Can you do that? That's powerful. That's why I love art, because I feel like I get inspired, and then when I'm like in a conversation or like working with a patient or talking to whatever, or just in my own thoughts, something about leveraging that art, that beauty, that like kind of creativity, it feels like it makes my mind work in new ways that then I can leverage it and use it for something else, and then it just makes shit dope, and then you kind of continue to iterate up. You know what I'm saying? And so I totally feel you. Yeah, I totally feel you. Yeah,
Thank you, Brother Empath, for that question.
Cool. At you.
We also had a question from Mr. Goodbody, Brandon.
Where did the nickname come from?
I'm not too sure, but you remember Brandon, right?
What's Brandon?
Brilliantly Black.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
He wanted us to touch on
I thought you were talking about other Brandon.
Music and mental health, and it was kind of broad like that, but what it made me think about was how do you feel that music affects your mental health? Like the music that you consume, how does it affect you mentally?
So this is something I talk about a lot with people. I feel so I'm always like anti-white supremacy. White supremacy, white male, cisgender heteronormative supremacy is trash, right? And it is all these isms that we feel are like part of the reason why the world can be so tough, and why I think the notion of if we can do away with these supremacist notions, then we can get back to loving ourselves and humanizing each other. Yeah. And so I think like the respect of music as something powerful and more than just something you do for fun is very much outside that scope of white supremacy, right? Because the colored folk, right? The Africans, the Indians, the South Americans, right? Those folks were the East Asian folk. Those folks use music in ways that was more than just entertainment. Those folks use music for spiritual practice. Those folks, right, in Africa, all over Africa, folks were using music for spiritual practice in very powerful ways. And I think there's something about white supremacy that's like, that downs that's not important. That's just a side thing, turn that noise off. And so I think reconnecting with music is reconnecting with the healing powers that our ancestors knew about, right? When we get, you get in a place in the club, come on, the beat hit, and then it's something more than just entertainment, right? This is like spiritual for us. And I think it's spiritual for humans. I just think sometimes there are like ways of thinking that reduce it. Yeah. But I think, so is that powerful? Is that important? I remember going to, speaking of white supremacy and battling against that, I remember going to Cuba with my boy Louis. Shout out Louis Fouché. Check out his album. He's a jazz artist.
That's what's up.
And on the TV show was Late Night with Colbert. Stephen Colbert. He's in the band. And so anyway, so we went to Cuba together. Last minute trip. Had an amazing time. And when we were there were these people doing Santeria practices. And so I'm thinking, you know, like where we come from, anything that's not Christian, that's like the devil. You know, like, I don't know.
Voodoo and shit.
Yeah, right. But you realize, wait a minute, this ain't evil. These people are this is rooted in love. This is centered in love, and it's super African. And so much of that was about music and celebration and a spiritual tradition. And you're like, man, I gotta unlearn this shit. Like, I gotta unlearn all this stuff, that anything that's outside of this Christian context, which was used very inappropriately to be very racist, right? That's why I say all American systems have racism at the root of them. So they use even something beautiful, a connection with God, to do that. This notion of like unlearning that allowed me to appreciate the beauty of these people, these beautiful Black people and their practices, and seeing how important it is really does remind me of like, oh man, music really does have like a spiritual context that is above and beyond any system. You know what I'm saying? So for me, music is super important, and I love it. And I love soul music. I love jazz. I love kind of even like some stuff I listen to sometimes, just exploring new practices, kind of the Muslim call to prayer music, like some of that kind of music sung in Arabic. That stuff's beautiful, man. Like, I'm like, yeah, man. I think music can move you in ways that that you can't. It's the thing that takes you beyond just words and and push you into feeling. That's why I love neo soul, because you got folks just yelling and all that stuff. I love that stuff, man. So for me, man, music is everything. And I will say, for my patients, it's probably the number one coping skill that people give me when I ask my patients about coping skills.
I believe that.
Music is like at the core of it, man. Even those kids that don't got nothing else.
Man, music, I just had somebody tell me, and shout out to Jay. They told me that they found an album that I put out with James, that yoga dude, and it was just him just doing a meditation over some beats.
Nice.
And they told me that they listened to this project for about 3 months, and it helped me get depression.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where can folks find that?
It's on Spotify. It's on all streaming services.
It would be your name and James?
It would probably be under Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, Care Less. It's also available at livetopshelf.bandcamp.com.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard it. And yeah, James.
I'll share it with you.
And James,
I'll share it with you. We put out another project last year, and we both were like, we just put it out. But it was called Phone Meditations, and it was a bunch of meditations that James recorded in his phone. And that's also available at justmikebrown.com.
Wow.
But yeah, a bunch of meditations he recorded in his phone, and
that's dope.
I put music to him.
That's dope.
It gave him a totally different feeling, and I want to do more of that, and I want to put more of that into the world, because, man, it's so much. Like, I try to listen to new music, and it's funny, like, how the new shit is pushed on the kids, and a lot of that shit is dark. Even the shit that was pushed on to us, though. Like, I go back and listen to, like, I don't want to say any of these artists' names, because they were young when they were creating this stuff. But you go back and listen to it, it's like, fuck, this is what was being put into me. And
you know where I'm from, Mike. You know, I talk about this all the time. The New Orleans song, and when I was a little kid growing up in New Orleans, some of that bounce music was crazy. And one of the songs I never forget, it goes, "Give me some heroin, baby. That heroin got me going." It's something about that powder make me sneeze, or something like I talk about why you would choose heroin over cocaine. I'm like, what are we doing? And that was like a big song in New Orleans, man. Like, oh, this is whoa.
But even
real,
even in the treatment of like your partners and shit. Like, why wouldn't you be who you are if you listening to corrupt, like, eat a bowl of shit, bitch, fuck a bitch, and it's like, man, God damn, like,
sugar free and all that, right?
Yeah. You know, when you're young, it speaks to you. The music, like you said, the rhythm of it. You get caught up in the rhythm, and it's getting you. But imagine that same rhythm with something that's telling you, like, love yourself, heal yourself, take care of yourself, love you, give yourself grace.
Yeah, I like that.
So
that's kind of reconnecting to the healing tradition that our ancestors were doing way back then.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I really think music could be used as a tool, and I think that is part of my why with reconnecting with it. Is like, I want to be disruptive.
I like it,
because it's so much of the other shit out there. You can go listen to anybody and get the other shit, but I really want to give people something.
Yeah.
And I want people to take it and feel like they can do it themselves. Like, this is a form of communication. It's not some skill of like being good or bad. It's like speaking English, Spanish, all that shit. Like, make it your own.
Yeah, man. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So thank you, Brandon, for that question.
We made an album together. Check out Pure Magic. Primo Miguel, Dr. Byron Young presents.
Available
Pure
on
Magic.
All streaming services.
Spotify.
I would love to do a second one.
Let's do it. You've been saying that. Yeah, what I got to do, Mike?
Timing is everything.
That's fair.
Everything happens in divine timing, and it's gonna happen. Because that is a part of, like I said, with what I was doing with James, what I was doing with you. That's essentially what I want to do. Like, I've played that I remember you told me you played it with kids, but playing it for
100%.
myself
Yeah.
for kids and them telling me it's so relaxing, so peaceful, seeing it calm down the classroom. It's like,
That's dope. Yeah, it's good music. Yeah.
yeah.
I bet if it was Mr. Cupcake, you jump on his track real quick. But my stuff, I gotta wait a year. But Mr. Cupcake, a little boo-boo. Yeah, he can get a track immediately. It's cool, baby. It's cool. Sometimes people be funny acting, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the best you can, Mike. Grace.
Well, we're going to transition out of that segment, and we are going to move to 5 questions of freedom. Sponsored by Feel Free to Feel Free.
Hey,
and being that it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to ask you some mental health questions. So, first question is, how do you, or what advice would you give to somebody about coping with anxiety?
Sure. And shout out to James at Yogadoo. What is that? Yogadoo.com.
Yes.
Our homie. I would say, one, I think is even just recognizing that you have anxiety is a big thing. Because I feel like, you know, this is my experience with my Black community, and particularly Black women, the Black women that have raised me and nurtured me and took care of me and extended cousins and everything. I think anxiety is such a part of the experience that folks think is normal. Like, folks don't even recognize it as nothing wrong. Like, you up at night ruminating and worrying and overthinking stuff, and you just think that's how it's supposed to be because I got stuff to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So I think one of the things to take care of is just recognizing this anxiety. You are not supposed to be ruminating and overthinking and work. You know, that's not how, it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when you realize that, then you can take steps to like undoing it. I think one of the easy things, kind of low hanging fruit, is mindfulness meditation, because that teaches us how to be present, right? How to like take our mind from the past or from the future and bring it back to the present. And it also teaches us how to be compassionate, because part of mindfulness is like, you pick a thing to focus on. When your mind wanders, which it will, you bring it back to the thing you're trying to focus on. So I might play a song, and if my mind wanders away from the song, come back to the song over and over and over. And you can't do it wrong. So if you leave 1,000 times, you come back 1,000 times. But the part before you come back, you reframe wherever you went. So if you went somewhere that was ugly, like, oh, I'm a fail this test or this job interview. No, I'm gonna do the best I can when I get there. Let me come back to this thing. And so I think mindfulness meditation is something we can easily do. You could find a meditation online, easy. So that's one. I think therapy is huge, right? I think folks need to, if your anxiety is getting in the way of your life, of your like enjoyment of life, if it's making you irritable and crusty with people, if it's making you never be able to be comfortable out in public, if it's making you avoid things, avoid relationships, avoid challenges, avoid, connecting with people, then, I think that's time to get some help. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the thing. There are definitely self-help books for anxiety you could try, but like, I think having someone, you can't overvalue the importance of having a person help you look at your blind spots and look at your defenses and look beyond them. You can't do it by yourself. Like, even the most self-aware person can't see all the blind spots. And so having somebody hold that for you is important. And so, yeah, I think it's big. And I think it's so common. It's definitely one of the most common mental health conditions. And we all get anxious sometimes, like a little bit of anxiety. But if it's consistent and chronic and every day and most of the day, like, it's time to get some help. You know what I'm saying? And even for us who struggle with it on occasion, like, definitely you want to do something, work on it. And if working on it with the easy stuff, the mindfulness, whatever, ain't cutting it, it's time to go to something different. Get you a counselor, get you a therapist, get you something.
Yeah. Second question, do you feel like your therapist has to have everything in common with you?
That's a great question. I don't. I do think there is some power to having a therapist that you feel like relates to you, but a lot of therapy is not even about the therapist, it's about you. So like, you could have a therapist who didn't know nothing about you, and if they were good at holding space to help you help yourself, then you got a good therapist. It's much more important to have a good therapist than a therapist that looks like you. You know what I'm saying? Having a therapist that looks like you and is good, that's the best. You want to do that. But more important to be good than to look like you. But yeah, if you could get both, you definitely want to take both. But this is it. Like, until you find the person that looks like you, get you something. You know what I'm saying? Do some work, and then keep looking, and then be like, okay, I found somebody, I gotta go. But like, don't put it off till later because of that. Yeah. But there's Black people in all spaces of medicine, mental health, all that, we've been mistreated, man. And so there's a lot of data to support that doctors who, come from your background are going to treat you better. That's for sure. And at the same time, you don't just want to go without care if you can't find that yet. Just keep looking. Great websites. Let me put some websites out there. You could go to my website, doingyourwell.org, and go to resources. There's therapy for Black girls. Shout out to Joy, Xavier graduate.
Oh, that's dope.
You could go to Psychology Today and put in African American or Latinx or whatever you're looking for, and find that. Even like, I think LGBTQ women. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, you definitely got to look, but definitely don't be like, oh, I can't find anybody, so I'm just not gonna do nothing.
Appreciate that. Third question, music or meditation?
Ooh, both actually. I actually use, this is very interesting. I use music in my meditation. So when I do mindfulness meditation with patients, when I'm like introducing it to them, we use music. And so we pick a song they like to make it like hit. So both.
That's what's up. Yoga or Tai Chi?
So I've not done a lot of Tai Chi. I've done a little bit of it with James actually, and I really like it. But I've done so much more yoga that I'm definitely gonna pick yoga. But yeah, we live in abundance, Mike. We ain't gotta pick both. Both of them. We live in abundance.
That's funny.
Shekinah glory. Shando.
The last question.
My God is an awesome God, Mike. Hello.
Last question. What is one piece of advice you would give to somebody that is afraid to start their mental health journey?
One piece of advice. I'll say afraid or just resistant. It'll be like, I don't need no help. You do. You do need help. You do. Everybody needs it, man. We all out here struggling. Everybody has traumas, whether little traumas or big traumas. Everybody is living in a world, like, you live in a world that tells you some bullshit. You got to unlearn that bullshit, and therapy can help you do it, right? You have internalized, I don't care who you are, you've internalized bullshit. You've internalized anti-blackness, you've internalized anti-women sentiment, you've internalized homophobic sentiments, you've internalized transphobic sentiments, you've internalized all kinds of bullshit that you have to unlearn, right? You have to internalize, like, things that, like, your value is rooted in how much you produce or what kind of job you have or what status you have. You have to unlearn that bullshit. And so one of the best ways of unlearning it is good therapy, man. And we all need that. And it also is like helping you find out who you truly are in a deeper sense. So even if you deeply know who you are, you could go deeper. Get into therapy and go deeper. Let's go. I'm glad you know pretty good. Let's get to great. Let's get to amazing. Let's keep going. And I think of therapy like I think about the gym. Your body constantly needs to be in condition to stay healthy. Your mind needs that too. You need to be challenged in that way, and you need to be helped to see beyond the veil, right? The unconscious mind is a place you can't get to by yourself. You need to do it, and it'll really benefit you, because a lot of people who are those folks who are like, I don't need it or whatever, are those people who think the world is the problem, that they're not the problem. You're the problem too. You're part of the world. You know what I'm saying? You live in a world, you've internalized that bullshit. So you are part of the problem too, right? The world is a thing, but how can you build your resilience to take the world on, right? To not just give what the world, just take what the world gives you, but give it back, you know? So.
That's what's up, man. That's all I got for you today. Can you let the people know where they can find you?
Leave me alone. I just tell all my business. Don't come for me. You don't know me. No, just being silly. You can check out my website, doingwell.org. That is a website dedicated to mental health and wellness resources. I have some videos in there, which you and James are a part of. We've done some really cool projects around mental health and wellness, particularly focused on Black and Latin folks, Latinx folks, but everybody could benefit from that, checking that website out, and talking about some of the work I do there. You can check out my Instagram. My professional one is We Doing It Well. At We Doing It Well, and my personal one is Prodigy 5002. It be popping. We was just at, I don't like to brag or whatever. We was just at a little party here, man, at Janelle Monáe house. Me and my boy Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. You know what I'm saying? We was out, in the hills, cooling. You know what I'm saying? They had my feet in the water. They had this was the house that she shot Lipstick at the video.
Would you shoot your shot?
Oh, she wasn't there. I would have shot it. She wasn't there. But we saw like the room where she does some of her creative stuff or whatever. And there was a lot of her people you've seen around her in her camp. Like people, remember she was like, had that crew of people she was making music with and stuff.
Jadenia and stuff?
Yeah, he wasn't there, but the other brother with the locks. And the brother the reason we were there is somebody's birthday party who she writes with.
That's cool.
Good, bro. It was amazing. I had a great time. And they keep the pool hot like a hot tub.
No, he invite y'all.
Oh, I was a +1. I'm just trying to make it.
Okay.
I was a +1. You know what I'm saying? Woo! They had Waffle House type stuff, like waffles, and it was so good. Anyway, why did I start talking about this?
Let's just ask you. I think I just asked you, where can people find you?
I don't know how I got here. I just wanted to stunt, apparently. Well, again, the Lord ain't through with me. I got work to do, y'all.
Shit.
Ooh, I got here. How did I start talking about that? What did that have to do with anything? What in the world? Lord Jesus. Lord.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Sheila, boy. What would Sheila do, man? She wouldn't do this. I gotta reconnect, Mike. I gotta reconnect.
Hilarious.
You know what? I'm in here hungry. Mike didn't provide no food. He didn't provide no snack. Got me drinking this water, this cheap water. He ain't got no snacks. My sugar low. That's what it is. My sugar low. I need some sugar. God, couldn't get a croissant, a donut, or nothing.
Hilarious.
You gotta do better, Mike. You gotta look at your heart. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta look at your heart.
That's too funny. Oh man, Byron, I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Love you, brother, man. Anytime.
Love you too, man.
Yes,
and I
sir.
appreciate y'all listening. This is Mike Brown, and this is The Art of Letting Go.
Letting go. Letting go.
Peace. Okay.
Could have had a snack in there, Mike. Damn.
No, I got you.
I ain't got a
Let me see how to say.
Reese's Pieces. Oh, you got snacks. Hold on now.
Oh, you got that. You could definitely have
I don't eat this. I don't eat that, man. That was fun. Thanks.
That was. I hope this shit saved. I'd be so hurt if it didn't.
Hello.
The art of letting go of these nuts.